Revenge films.
My family moved a lot when I was a child. As my father's job required him to move to different places, we moved every 2 to 3 years. Most of the moves were in the same state, so it wasn't that much of a hassle. My parents thought it was better for the family to live together till I grow up, so we all moved together every time my father's company asked him to. Unfortunately, when I was in 6th grade, we moved to a new place, and I was picked on by a bully named Sally in school. Soon after I started going to the new school, she came up to me and said, "Hey, let's pick on Alice." She was with her cronies. Alice was someone who didn't suck up to the bully Sally. As a new kid, I was bullied a lot in different schools, so I refused to join in with them. I don't know what kind of person Alice is, but I don't like bullying, so I am not doing it. As a result, the next day, everyone in my class stopped talking to me. They all seemed nervous around me, so I was disheartened that I was going to be bullied again in the new school till I leave. But then I thought, on the other hand, it will only last till I leave, so I was more determined not to be forced to join in with the bully Sally. My attitude must have annoyed Sally. She came up to me while dragging along a girl so obviously scared of her and ordered me to say, "Call her a germ! Touch this germ!" As soon as the scared girl's finger made contact with me, "Gross! You touched a germ! Quick, if you don't give that germ to someone else, you'll turn into a germ yourself!" She said something like this and started to spread the germ to the whole class, and everyone screamed. But I wasn't affected in the slightest. I just stayed in my seat and kept on reading. Needless to say, that annoyed Sally even more. So her bullying got worse. My desk was covered in lots of footprints. There were lots of scribbles on my textbooks, and the shoes I kept in my locker had dead insects and garbage inside them. Whenever we moved our desks in the classroom, my desk was kicked and fell over, so what was inside the desk fell all over the floor. Sally ordered her cronies to beat me up, so in the corner of the classroom they would pull my hair and try to destroy my shoes. Even though I was in such a terrible situation, my classmates turned a blind eye. So I was in the classroom where no one spoke to me, with my hair, clothes, desk, and textbooks covered in dust, dirt, and scratches. Alice, who didn't get on with Sally, didn't do anything to me, but I think she had her own problems, like her stuff kept going missing. When the 3rd trimester started, some of my classmates started to talk to me when Sally wasn't around. "I'm sorry, I didn't really want to ignore you. I feel terrible. I'm just really scared of Sally. I'm sorry. Can we hang out together when Sally is not around?" I knew how scary Sally was, and I understood why my classmates behaved in that way, so I said, "Don't worry about it," to them. After that, they started to come around to my place after school. Both my parents were not home during the day, as they were working. My friends' moms were stay-at-home moms, so I think it was good that we hung out in my place. By then, no one was talking to me in school still, but other than that, other bullying had stopped. Even when kids were ordered by Sally to do something to me, they pretended to beat me up, whispering, "I'm sorry," to me. We kept on hanging out after school, just chatting or making pancakes or playing games. It was fun. Soon enough, Sally's cronies started to talk to me. I hate Sally, really. I'm sorry for what I've done. I thought, what the heck? But I forgave them anyways. So Sally's cronies started to hang out in my place. But when one of the cronies said that Sally wants to come to my place, all of us, in unison, said, "No way!" Sally then targeted Brittany, who was quieter than me, but I didn't know the details. Because I was still being ostracized in school, I had no partner in PE classes, and as our graduation was approaching, only Alice, Brittany, and I were left out of the play that all the girls in my class were participating in. When I started junior high, Sally and I were in different homerooms. I was so relieved. No one knew I moved a lot before, and kids from different elementary schools were there, so no one bullied me. Also, there weren't any bully types in my HR, so my school life became very peaceful. Occasionally, I saw Sally in the hallway. She was, as always, walking down the hallway as if she owned the place. I don't remember when exactly, but when I was in 7th grade, I heard from some girls in Sally's HR that Sally's shoes were dumped in a garbage bin. Sally's sweatshirt was covered in mud and was left on the corner of the schoolyard. I already heard that she had fallen out with her cronies. There were also kids saying that I was bullied when I was in 3rd grade. I had my pencil stolen by her when I was in 1st grade. Perhaps now we are a little bit more grown up in junior high. I heard things like, I don't know why she thinks she's so much better than everyone else. Come to think of it, she's not scary at all. She is so ugly. She has such short legs. I said to Sally, you're ugly, you're fat. How can you stand to have a face like that? In the hallway, to her face. Our teacher told me to help Sally find something she lost again, but there's no way I'm doing that. Every day I heard rumors like this. I think kids who were bullied by Sally before stole or messed around with her stuff. We became 8th graders, and when Christmas break was approaching, I was trying to wash my tennis shoes after PE class right near the school gym. It's so cold. The water that came out was so cold in December, but I wanted to wash off the mud on the soles. Then I heard, it sounded like someone was close by, breathing heavily. So I slowly approached the back of the water tap. There was a gap wide enough for a person to get in, and had a peek. What I saw there was Sally, still in her uniform, drenched in water. It was already dark and painfully cold, but there she was, shivering and crying all alone. I knew straight away she was bullied. Words came out from my mouth without thinking. Do you want to borrow my uniform? It was the first time in 2 years since I spoke to Sally, but Sally raised her head and looked at me and said, I know you were thinking I deserve this. I know you're laughing at me inside, you hypocrite! I threw a towel which was hanging off my neck and went home. I heard Sally caught a cold which got so bad that she ended up in a hospital. She could not come to school for the rest of the term. After the break, Sally was still absent from school. I heard just before we became 9th graders that she left school and started to go to another school. By a pure coincidence, when I moved again because of my father's work, I saw Sally in my new school. To my great surprise, she was a completely different person. She was all skin and bone. She was walking slowly in the hallway and kept leaning on the walls. What I heard from someone who knew Sally was that she thought the reason why she got bullied was because she was fat. So she put herself on an extreme diet that led to her breakdown. That's why she couldn't come to school after the Christmas break. She eventually developed an eating disorder and was hospitalized. She starved herself and even went into a coma, but her doctor saved her life. So when she left the old school and started the new one, her health recovered enough to go to school. But her condition was far from good. She was still painfully thin and she doesn't talk to anyone in school. She seemed to suffer from some kind of mental condition as well. Even when she saw me in the new school, she didn't seem to recognize me. Her parents were told by the doctor that she might never go back to her old self. At a glance, you might feel sorry for her. You might think of me as cold, but she was a nasty bully who made people's lives a misery. She got what she deserved.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.